The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent. This non-commercial program is for educational purposes only.
You're listening to
आप सुन रहे हैं तुम सुनो था ನೀವು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ
Radio Azim Premji University.
Modern India has a history of vibrant and active social sector. The Stories of Change books, which is into its 4th edition, seeks to facilitate and recognize documentation of good practices of social change through reflections and learnings of various organizations. This is the audio form of some of the case studies chosen from the Stories of Change books. We hope that you find these stories interesting and inspiring in equal measure.
Trucks are everywhere. You see them on our highways and city roads, often overtaking them in a hurry. But who is the person behind the wheel of a truck is a thought that rarely crosses our mind. And have you ever wondered what their life is like?
Stories of Change with Anuradha Nagraj. Episode 2. Seva Kendra Calcutta.
ड्राइवरिंग का काम वैसे तो ड्राइवरिंग का काम माने तो फौजी से कम नहीं है। जो फौजी देश की रक्षा कर रहा है ना, उससे ये ड्राइवरिंग का काम कम नहीं है। अगर आप 24 घंटे परिवहन बंद कर दो, सिटी में दूध मिलना बंद, सब्जी मिलना बंद।
Because they are the real backbone of our economy, and we must also, if need to be, to look after them and to have really building up the relationship.
गाड़ी तो बना देती हैं कंपनियां बड़ी बड़ी, लेकिन ड्राइवरों को सुख नहीं है। आप इतना गर्म में बैठे हैं, बैठ के देख लीजिए 10 मिनट नहीं बैठ सकते हैं। चलाने वाला यदि सही नहीं रहेगा तो उसको नींद आएगा, तो एक्सीडेंट होगा ही होगा। इससे दूसरे का भी नुकसान होगा, उसका भी नुकसान होगा, समाज का भी नुकसान होगा।
We should salute all the truck drivers. We have seen that they do a lot for the society, but when it comes in terms of recognition, when it comes for due credit, do we think that we generally give it to them? I think the answer would be no.
लेकिन हम वो ईंट हैं जो घर जमीन के नीचे हैं, इस पे किसी का ध्यान नहीं जाता है। लेकिन अगर नीचे का वो ईंट नहीं रहेगा तो पूरा दुनिया नहीं रहेगा। तो इस तरह से अगर ये लोरी चलाने वाले लोग नहीं रहेंगे तो सबका अवस्था खराब हो जाएगा।
Hello, I am your host Anuradha Nagraj, faculty at the Azim Premji University. And in this episode of the Stories of Change, we take you to parking lots in and around Kolkata to understand the challenges of truckers and how the Sambandh program, an initiative by non-profit Seva Kendra Calcutta, champions their cause in West Bengal. Brij Kishore Malhotra ran away from home in Bihar in his teens, enamored by the portrayal of truckers in movies and TV serials. He thought it was the best job in the world. Life on the road, however, was anything but what he had imagined.
मेरा नाम ब्रिज किशोर मल्होत्रा है। मैं 1998 से गाड़ी चलाता हूँ। हम मूल रूप से बिहार के रहने वाले हैं। हम लोग यहीं मटिया बुरुज में रहते थे। केशोराम कंपनी है, बिरला की है। तो पिताजी काम करते थे, तो उनमें और लोग भी काम करते थे। उनमें एक आदमी का भाई ट्रक चलाता था, वो बड़ा वाला टेलर। तो वो गया तो बताया ऐसा ऐसा बात है, बहुत अच्छा है। तो हम टीवी भी देखते थे, तो हमको लगा कि सही बात बोल रहा। हम आए तो सबसे पहले भूत घाट ही आए थे। तो जो लंबा गाड़ी है वो टेलर है, और जो 10 चक्का है वो सिंगल बोला जाता है, यानी एक कंटेनर ले सकता है। तो हम सिंगल पे काम किए। काम करने के बाद देखे तो अच्छा ही लग रहा था, कोई खराब नहीं। अरे बाएं में बैठे रहते थे, ड्राइवर पैसा देता था, 2 टाइम जाके होटल में खा लेते थे, फिर सोए रहना है। आराम तो लग ही रहा था, और यही आराम का काम है कि आज पूरा लाइफ आराम में परेशान हो गया। बहुत तरह की कठिनाइयां हैं, जैसे हम आम पब्लिक से लेके पुलिस प्रशासन तक, ये कोई हमारा कॉर्पोरेट नहीं करता है, माने मेरे साथ नहीं रहता है। इसलिए रोड में चलते तो पब्लिक को परेशानी, पुलिस जो है आज इतना अत्याचार किए हुआ है कि कहीं भी अगर आप एक आध घंटे भी खड़ा करते हैं तो खड़ा नहीं होने देता है, और आदमी के पीछे इस तरह से पड़ा हुआ है जैसे हम लोग चोर हैं। सुविधा बोल के कहीं कुछ नहीं है, आप रोड में कहीं भी 1 घंटा गाड़ी नहीं लगा सकते आज का दौर में।
More than 20 years down the line, Brij Kishore is a little more introspective. The long hours spent on Indian highways has made him turn to poetry and also talk about the well-being and health of truck drivers, an issue he was first introduced to in a parking lot by members of the Sambandh program, an initiative run by Seva Kendra Calcutta, or SKC as it is popularly known as.
Truck drivers. We actually started working with the auto drivers beginning here in Kolkata when auto started working from Seldom and plying to other parts of Kolkata.
This is Father Anthony Tushar Roderick, Director of Seva Kendra Calcutta, taking us back to the drawing board and telling us how and where the idea to work with truck drivers began.
Coming from one end to another end of our country, carrying all sorts of goods, materials, they are not really taken care at all. They remained out of the society almost, yes. So we had a lot of discussion here, talking with project coordinators, etc. And then we started to design a project or the program activities for the truck driver. And the MASC, the donor funder, they came forward and they've been helping us for this program since 2016.
In the early days, the program would start with a cricket match, like the one in Petropol. Petropol is the largest land port in West Bengal, right on the Indo-Bangladesh border, and home to thousands of truck drivers as they wait for their trucks to be loaded and unloaded. Father Roderick recalls bowling and batting in one such match.
And first my interaction was there in a cricket ground when the Sambandh people, the project's coordinators, they have planned to have a cricket match between the truck drivers and the parking owners and also the police, Petropol police. And I joined there, I played, and also I had an opportunity to honor to give away the prizes to everyone there. So that was my first interaction with this truck drivers interaction.
That match was won by the parking lot owners. But in many ways, there were no losers on the field that day. The match was an icebreaker that led to better engagement between the truck drivers, police, nearby villagers, and most importantly, Seva Kendra got a foothold among the floating population of the drivers, a community that was there but not visible.
They come to, let's say, Bengal or the Petropol, bringing transport, all materials, and they take time. Even they have to stay 1 month there to unload and to load again to go back. So it's become their home, away home. But they have the difficulties about food, about water, about toilets. These are the basic needs. And it was not been really catered well. So we started with the help of MASC, we started to install few water cooler and also few toilets making for them, and also places where food could be also organized. So we started with this.
मेरा नाम नवीन कुमार हुआ। यहाँ हम लोग होटल चलाते हैं। यहाँ मेरे पास पर डे 200 ड्राइवर, 150 ड्राइवर को हम सुबह शाम 24 घंटा मेरा होटल चालू रहता है। ड्राइवर को थोड़ा सा तीखा चाहिए, मिक्स वेज हो जाएगा, दाल फ्राई हो जाएगा, तड़का हो जाएगा, आलू भुजिया होगा, आलू भिंडी भुजिया होगा, चिकन होगा, मच्छी होगा, अंडा करी होगा, आलू पटल सब्जी होगा, सेव भाजी होगा, अंडा भुजिया होगा। सारे लोग दोस्ती हैं, सारे लोग फ्रेंड हैं। जब घर से हम जुड़े हुए हैं उनसे, वो हमसे जुड़े हुए हैं, तो लोग फ्रेंड।
A parking lot is a busy place with truck drivers coming in, many moving out, some resting, some eating, others calling home. There is a general busyness in these spaces that makes it extremely difficult for an outsider to even get a moment to talk to a truck driver. During the initial days of the program, Seva Kendra's field staff spent days trying to connect with drivers. They overcame language barriers and the reluctance of drivers to leave their vehicles and attend a meeting.
बिल्कुल बहुत मतलब अभी तो इतना साल से काम कर रहे हैं, लोग देख रहा है, पहचान रहा है, तो अभी ट्रस्ट हो गया. पहले तो मतलब अनजान मतलब इतना मतलब ड्राइवर में पहला ट्रस्ट का इशू है. मतलब वो आपको इतना.
Gopal Gaun, field coordinator with Seva Kendra, remembers the efforts it took to win the trust of the drivers. They tried music and theatre to attract their attention and spent considerable time trying to find their leader, a person who would be able to listen to them and also introduce them to the other drivers in these parking lots.
हर ड्राइवर में एक नेता होता है ड्राइवर का, जो उसका बात सबको ही सुनता है. तो ये मल्होत्रा जी जो मिले, इनको पहले हम लोग समझाए कि हम लोग क्या काम करते हैं, उनको हम लोग जो प्लानिंग था वो सब शेयर किए. तो वो बोले ठीक है हम आपको हेल्प करेंगे. तो एक कैंप किया जिसमें हम लोग को नंबर कम मिला, लेकिन वो कैंप किए थे तो सक्सेसफुली मतलब 10 से 15 लोग ही हुआ, उससे ज़्यादा नहीं हुआ. लेकिन नेक्स्ट जब हम लोग इसी तरह कंटिन्यू करते गए तो नंबर हमारा बढ़ते गया. अब प्लस हम लोग कैंप के बाद उनको सिर्फ छोड़े नहीं, उनका बात का भी फॉलोअप किए, थोड़ा सा गाइड करते थे कि आप इधर जाओ उधर. तो वो एक तो ट्रस्ट उन लोगों में आंसर हो.
As they spent more time in parking lots having conversations with truckers, Seva Kendra realized that health was a big concern. Constantly being on the move, crisscrossing state boundaries, and driving 14 to 16 hours a day, truck drivers rarely have the option to stop long enough in one place to get a toothache attended to or check a failing eyesight.
चश्मा का एग्जांपल लेते हैं कि आई कैम की है, उनको चश्मा बनाए. अब उनसे हम बोले कि ठीक है, एक हफ्ता चश्मा बनने में तो संग बनता नहीं है, हम लोग 3 से 4 दिन लगता है. तो उसके बाद हमारा दूसरा चैलेंज ऐसा था कि उसको हम दे कैसे. अब तो जिसका ज़्यादा पावर है, 1 से ज़्यादा है, उसको हम लोग कोशिश करते थे कि 2 से 3 दिन का अंदर कुछ कैसे भी दे दें. और जिसका उससे कम है, अगर वो दूर जाता है तो जब आएगा तब उसको चश्मा देंगे. तो उसके लिए या तो उसका ट्रांसपोर्टर का नंबर लेते थे या तो उसका मालिक का, ताकि उसका ऑफिस में दे के आए.
These camps are something that truck drivers look forward to. The initiatives travel with the drivers in their trucks, with each driver who has been a part of the program also becoming an ambassador for the issue of health, cyber safety, and road safety that are integral to Sambandh's program. Senior project facilitator Kusum Lakra talks about the ripple effect of these programs.
We said that with the audience whom we are going to distribute this kind of stuff, what will they do with it? Because many times it happen, if we give them a leaflet, people tend to have a chanachur or something like that. So we said, please don't do that. Instead, we try to kind of give them something which they can stuck into their truck. And this thing, they only told us, that because we have been telling them, you please stick it inside the truck, not outside the truck, because then it might get tear and the longevity will be lost. Then he said, no, it's not like that. अगर हम लोग इसको बाहर में चिपकाते हैं तो हम तो पढ़ते ही हैं, साथ ही साथ जो बाकी लोग भी आते हैं वो लोग भी पढ़ पाएंगे इनको. So you are seeing the thought process, like we thought कि हम तो उनको दे देंगे, वो चिपका देंगे and that's it. I mean हमारा purpose fulfill हो जाएगा. But I think they have taken it to the next level, telling that नहीं हमें ही क्यों benefit हो, बाकी लोग भी जो आएंगे उनको इसीलिए हम यहाँ पर चिपकाते हैं, बाहर में चिपकाते हैं, so that somebody will see that and say कि अच्छा कुछ तो है, ये कुछ तो लिखा हुआ है, let's read it out and
As conversations continued, the understanding of what it takes to sit in a cramped, hot cabin, driving constantly, became clearer, and the Sambandh program evolved accordingly, going beyond awareness meetings to create material that would travel with the driver's personal belongings. Among them was the comprehensive wellness kit, complete with a head, hand, and foot massager, acupuncture slippers, and a set of guidelines on how to use them to keep aches and pains at bay. Kusum Lakra unpacks what went into creating these kits.
The very first moment when we thought about the wellness kit, we kind of thought of the human anatomy and we said that why don't we start from head to toe. So we thought of coming out with the head massager. Then we thought that okay, most of the time they are holding the wheel and the steering. There is a soft ball which is available with which they can press it. It's a very good exercise for the hand, especially for the fingers. It improve and enhance the blood circulation. And also, since backache was one of the issues which most of the truck drivers had come up with, we thought why don't we give them something hot application kind of things. And that is how we came up with the hot application, the hot bag. So that is how, if you see today, we have a head massager, we have a hand massager, body massager, leg massager.
You also said that, one of the key things of your program is not just to work with the individual, but with the family, the
Yes.
children, because so can you tell us a little more about how that works?
Yes, so this concept came again, I would say that thanks to Corona and to an extent, because that time we felt that most of the truck drivers were out of job, in the market there is a need for masks, we can link them, and that is how we thought that why don't we have some intervention for the women group as well. So we were only left with the stitching. We felt that is the best options, because here people can work from their home. To an extent we can also sell it in the markets. With that concept, the sewing things came. Today, so there is no turning back. I mean, today we just tell them and people just come up and enroll themselves for this particular program.
Seva Kendra has become an integral part of the chaos of parking lots and the conversations at dhabas, resulting in an organic demand for more camps coming in from areas that they don't operate in yet. This word-of-mouth goodwill for the program is what keeps Gond and the Seva Kendra team going.
अगर आप मेरे साथ कहीं भी जाइएगा तो कोई ना कोई ड्राइवर आपको मिलेगा मेरे से बात करते हुए कि हाँ भैया जी आज कोई नया कुछ लेके आए। नया मतलब वो सोचता है कुछ नया लेके आते हैं हम लोग। मतलब एकमात्र पहला ऐसा एनजीओ है जो इस इलाका में इतना वैरायटी में काम कर रहा है, फैमिली को लेकर, बच्चा को लेकर, उनको लेकर। तो इसीलिए वो लोग कुछ हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ बोलता है कि कुछ नया है या फिर कब कैम्प करने वाले हैं, वो लोग पूछता है। जब हम कुछ भी कैम्प करते हैं तो उन लोग को बोलते हैं कि तुम लोग आओ, ठीक है। तो कोई बाई चांस आता है जो तो बोला एक बार मेरा वहाँ भी करेगा, मेरा वहाँ भी ड्राइवर लोग है। तो हम लोग हाँ बिल्कुल करेंगे। तो वहाँ पे हम लोग कैम्प करते हैं। तो वो खुद से एफर्ट करके सबको बुलाता है, ऑर्गेनाइज करता है, कैम्प करवाता है। तो उसमें से एक दो लोग बोलता है कि हाँ आप लोग जो काम कर ऐसा काम हम पहली बार देख रहे। तो एक अच्छा लगता है कि हाँ कुछ काम हम कर रहे। तो मेरे को ये बोला।
बहुत सारी बातें आती है, घर का भी याद आता है, बच्चों का याद आता है, इसलिए तो थोड़ा बहुत संगीत उंगीत सुन लेते हैं।
आपको क्या गाने अच्छे लगते हैं?
लता, रफ़ी, किशोर माय फेवरेट
गाना है?
हाँ, वो खाई के पान बनारस वाला, बिकॉज क्योंकि वो जो इसके राइटर हैं वो मेरे गांव के बगल के हैं। रंग का भंग जमा हो चकाचक, फिर लो पान चबाए, खाई के पान बनारस वाला, खुल जाए बंद अकल का ताला।
This initiative has worked in another unique way. Not only did truck drivers gain from the program, but so did Seva Kendra and all its members, with many myths around truck drivers being busted during the implementation of these programs.
Biggest thing that we hear from everyone that truck drivers are very rude, they are ill-mannered, they do not know how to behave, and they do not have good temperaments and things like that. It's a myth. They are very, humble, kind-hearted people who understand stuff. And one of the very interesting thing that we have also come across while talking to few of the truck drivers, that they are very talented. They have very good vocals. So how do we come to know that they are good at singing? Because during this 26th January, 15th August, we do some kind of program for them, apart from hoisting flag. And we have come up that some of them are very good in cracking jokes, some of them are very good in doing shero shairi. And I was amazed. Work profile, they are somewhere, too much engrossed into it. Otherwise, they are wonderful, excellent people with a lot of talent, I would say.
Here is driver Brij Kishore, one such talented poet, reading one of his award-winning poems for us.
सेवा केंद्र के ऊपर एक कविता है। सेवा केंद्र दी हमें जीने की नई राह, आज उन्हीं के बताए रास्ते पर न कर सकेगा कोई हमें गुमराह। साइबर अपराध हो या कोई ऐसी बीमारी, सेवा केंद्र ने दी ये सारी जानकारी। उसने परायों को अपना बनाया, गैरों से भी मेल बढ़ाया, गैरों को दुख में भी हाथ बटाया। सेवा केंद्र ने दी यह जानकारी। सेवा केंद्र का दिशा निर्देश न होगा अपने जीवन में शेष, अज्ञानी को ज्ञान दिया, जहाँ न पहुँचा कोई सेवा केंद्र की शुरुआत वहीं। आओ हम सब मिलकर सेवा केंद्र में हाथ बटाएं, गैरों को भी अपना बनाएं।
At the end of this journey, in slushy parking lots and crowded dhabas, the truck driver on the highways is no longer an invisible anonymous entity for me anymore. They are key to everything we source anywhere in the country, a fact that Seva Kendra recognized and chose to engage with. This is also why the Sambandh program is unique and part of the second volume of the Stories of Change. Here is Ashok Sarkar, faculty at the Azim Premji University, echoing what Brij Kishore's poem says.
This story is so special to us because it involves social actions with a set of people that are otherwise quite invisible even to the social sector as much to the other sectors as well. And these were the truck drivers. And also, since the truck drivers are a mobile population, not settled anywhere, it entails people from various different languages, and therefore it's actually very difficult to think about an action getting done with them. Seva Kendra initially did a study, a very small study, to understand how to engage with the truck drivers, and they have found a specific way to do it, involving where the truck drivers settle in the night and the depots where they rest for some time, and also they captured their initial challenges about their being away from the home for a very long time, their health issues, their wage issues, their livelihood issues, even the toil that they do driving the vehicles for 17, 18 hours a day, etc. And the story that was written by Seva Kendra actually captured that toil, that experiences in a very vivid way. And therefore we decided that we will pick up this as one of those 10 cases for the second volume, and that made us also think of some more actions with them, and therefore we decided to also record them for a audio program.
And that's a wrap of this episode of Stories of Change. We would like to thank the team at Seva Kendra Calcutta and the truck drivers who are the lifeline of this nation. Follow us and subscribe to be updated when we release new shows and episodes. To know more about Radio Azim Premji University, visit our website by clicking on the link in the show notes.
You're listening to
आप सुन रहे हैं You're listening to toothache. ನೀವು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ
Radio Azim Premji University.